racing to the massive roar of the crowd. Lady of Camelot, a spectacular win in the Golden Slipper. Chain of Lightning, Bella Nipotina. Chain of Lightning's won the TJ. Bella Nipotina wins the Everest. A thriller there at the end.
With Tim Gilbert and Julie Snook, this is Racing Dreams.
Hello and welcome to Racing Dreams. Well, it is postcard picture perfect here at Royal Randwick for day one of the championships. Looking wonderful in black and white, Jules. I think it's almost black and white this time.
Yeah, sure. It's very, very close. Very, very close. Good morning, Timmy. Good morning to you at home. Sensational conditions here at Royal Randwick today for day one of the championships. We are here at last. Honestly, you could not ask for better conditions. It's stunning today.
It's beautiful, and there's going to be a whole stack of people, as you'd imagine, enjoying all the fun of the fair here for the first day of the championships. But there's some really interesting racing. There's really interesting racing. We've got the best of the world here, and to break it all down, the Daily Telegraph's Shane O'Cass. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well. What a difference a week makes. Last weekend we had the races called off. It was like Noah's Ark around Rose Hill, but today this is one of the most spectacular days.
Enjoy. That's why you've got to seize the moment. Carpe diem, appreciate it all. The weather is absolutely all those things.
Not even a Saturday. I love it.
At Poet Society. So, what about this race? Talk about Carpe Diem. I know Chris Lees was very happy with Rivellino in the Golden Slipper. Finished fourth. Huey Bowman's come back from Hong Kong, and he has a real focus on the size today.
Well, I know Hugh Bowman was very keen to come back from Hong Kong to ride this horse, because if you remember in the Golden Slipper, Tim, the horse was very slowly away. He was last at the 400, and he had a checkered path all the way up the straight, and people talk about Woderton being unlucky, which of course he was. He had a few little issues trying to get clear running himself, but you know, Rivellino made up many lengths in the straight, and he did it with a lot of horses in front of him. So both are looking forward to 1400, there's no doubt about that, and I can tell you that this size is going to shape who could be the champion of Australia 2-year-old division this year, because at the moment it's wide open. Mahunas can stake a claim by winning the Golden Slipper, but if either of these two colts can win a size and maybe go on to win the Champagne, well, it's going to add another nought to their value.
Absolutely.
And if we have a look at that Golden Slipper replay again, it does say a lot that Huey Bowman is willing to come back for this ride today.
Absolutely, and he obviously was here for the Golden Slipper for good reason, but he didn't have to come back today. But I understand that Rivellino was the driving factor in why Hugh Bowman came back. And you've got to remember, just a few years ago, guys, Hugh Bowman owned this carnival. We went 4 Queen Elizabeths on Winx and pretty much every other race. So you know, this is a real good homecoming for Hugh, and he's got a lot of fans here in Australia in the grandstands and in the tabs as well.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I think everyone reflects on Queen Elizabeth Stakes Day, don't they? Which was the pinnacle of and the end of Winx's amazing career, and of course the statue. I walked past it at Rose Hill during the week. It's great to have Huey back. Now, Jolie Star.
Well, Jolie Star is the favourite for the TJ Smith, another great race in its own right. Some people are thinking that the TJ Smith has become almost the pinnacle of day one. That's how strong this race has turned into from a sprinting point of view. Now, she is the deserved favourite, guys. She won the Newmarket Handicap, the famous race up the straight at Flemington last start, and she ran 1:08 doing it. So she's got Damien Lane is going to ride. James McDonald would have been on her, of course, but he's away. So they picked up Damien Lane, who was the favourite to win the Nathan Berry medal, by the way, because he's picked up so many good rides, Jolie Star included. But look, she's a genuine Everest contender. She's got another Group 1 to win today to add to the 1,000 guineas that she won as a 3-year-old. You know, we're in a great era of sprinters, but she's one of the best we've got at the moment.
And as we just heard as you were talking there, Shane, we just saw Overpass's trial as well. Now, he's been trialling sensationally for his return to the TJ today.
He could well be the fastest.
You go and buy a lottery ticket with Björn Baker.
He could win anything, Björn. And look, Overpass's, he could be the fastest horse in Sydney. Whether he can sustain that, you know, in the pressure race over 1200, we'll wait and see. But he's a dual Group 1 winner. He's travelled to Perth twice and won their best race. He's back in Sydney, won the Sydney Stakes, and as you said, Julie, he has trialled the house down.
Gringotts
today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Gringotts is a bomb.
Tommy Berry.
Tommy Berry and Gringotts have formed a fantastic association in the last few years. They won a big dance here, of course, on the first Tuesday in November. And the thing about Gringotts, guys, is he is bomb-proof. He goes out there every single start and runs the same race every single time, and that is usually winning. This is a Doncaster. It's the highest level you can get for a miler. But look, punters think he can do it. He never lets them down, and this track is going to play right into Gringotts' favour today.
And on that Doncaster, we have the place getters from last year back in the race, but we do have a scratching this morning.
Yeah, unfortunately we lost Celestial Legend this morning as a scratching. The horse is fine, but he's just not running, which opens the way for the Victorian Rise of Dawn to get a start. Now, Karis Teaton, the great South African jockey, was going to come down to ride Rise of Dawn, but when they thought he might not get a start, he stayed at home. So some jockey, if Rise of Dawn wins to Doncaster today at massive odds, has picked up one of the luckiest rides in history. But look, it's a great race top to bottom, 13 Group 1 winners in it. It really is a very, very open race, as you'd expect handicaps to be. The favourites, in fact, guys, are both $6. So that says what an open race it is.
It's not very often we see a filly as the favourite for a derby.
Not at all. In fact, only one filly's won the Derby this century, and you have to go back to an absolute champion in research last century. But not many do it, admittedly, because they've got an Oaks coming up next week. But look, Aliana, she could well beat these colts. She's almost beaten Broadsiding and Linebacker in the Randwick Guineas and the Rosehill Guineas, and she's only been looking for one thing, 2,400 at Randwick.
Linebacker is another one that I'm very, very keen to see today. But also, interestingly, in this derby, we have the first 4 over the line in the New Zealand derby.
Yeah, that's right. We often get the winner of the New Zealand derby come over, but the others are not seen as good enough to come over. But they are this year. It's a very strong crop of 3-year-olds in New Zealand, so they're all here. The one thing we know about Kiwis is that they stay. And if any of the Australian horses just had that little chink in the armour that last 200 up the rise, it's the Kiwis that usually are the ones finishing strongest.
We have got a fantastic day of racing. Thank you, Shana.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Plenty of people from all over the joint.
Absolutely. We've got the internationals descending on Sydney this weekend, including some of the biggest jockeys in the business. It says a lot about this carnival that they are willing to come back down under for these occasions.
Absolutely, Jules. Well, he started up, of course, around Lismore Way, didn't he, as a boy? And then he conquered the jockey ranks here in Australia before heading to Hong Kong. I speak of Zach Purton. He's won more races in the Hong Kong jurisdiction than anyone has. And he comes back here and he's actually looking for his 4th Doncaster, and he's riding the Breeders' Cup winner, Moira.
They're off in the Breeders' Cup. Filly and Mare Turf and Full Count Felicia goes immediately to the front. Moira has taken the lead from Full Count Felicia. Didia trying to close the gap. More like Goddess Beautiful Love. And then comes Cinderella's Dream. They're coming to the finish. And it is Moira. Oh, Canada.
This is a little bit of a unique ride to pick up because she was the Canadian Horse of the Year, went to the Breeders' Cup and won there, and was then purchased by Yulong to race in Australia with Wallace. So she's been around the world and she's done incredibly well, and hopefully she can sort of jump out of the ground and first start in Australia and deliver me another Doncaster. From what I can see, she looks like she's a quality mare, and Chris has done really well with imports that he's picked up as well. Yulong's having a good run, so it just feels like it's right.
Sacred Falls and Royal Ascent. Sacred Falls, can he do it back to back? Sacred Falls does it. Back to back for Sacred Falls, beat Royal Ascent and Weary. Sacred Falls has won the race 2 years in succession and ridden by the leading Hong Kong jockey, Zach Purton.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've won 3 Doncasters. Let's go through those. Started with Sacred Falls with Chris Waller. Tell us about that one.
I drew wide, it was a wet track, went back, cut the corner, come inside, went through them, and that was the second of the 2 Doncasters that he won, and he carried a bit of weight to do it, so it was a good effort, and it was great. He was owned by some Asian connections, which is how I got on him to start with, but yeah, he had a great career. Chris did a really good job with him.
It's Somewhat's going strongly. He's kicking in the Doncaster. It's Somewhat from Happy Clapper. It's Somewhat a length clear from Happy Clapper. It's Somewhat hanging on. He wins the Doncaster, a half length to Happy Clapper. It's Somewhat handled by Zach Purton. Hong Kong Zach Purton and John O'Shea taking it straight to the front.
The second one was It's Somewhat.
Yeah, so he led all the way. He was trained by John O'Shea, who was at Godolphin at the time. It was his last Group 1 winner whilst training for Godolphin. Obviously, he's gone out on his own again since and had some more Group 1 success. But yeah, he controlled the race in front, kicked clear, and Happy Clapper come out after him, but couldn't run me down.
Mr. Brightside in front from my Oberon. Mr. Brightside lifting and goes back to back. Mr. Brightside held on from my Oberon to win the Doncaster again. Nuggets finished in 3rd.
And Mr. Brightside, he is the people's horse in so many ways, isn't he?
Yeah, he just turns up every time he steps out on a racetrack. you know, if he's not winning, he's running second or he's very close. He's such an honest campaigner. He's brought out in New Zealand, trained by the Hayes boys, and they've done a great job with him. And he races left-handed, right-handed, soft ground, good ground. He seems to handle everything. And you know, he had a good barrier, raced not too far off the speed, come through, hit the front early, was challenged twice, and that was his second Doncaster as well. So he had to carry a bit of weight to do it, and he was all heart. I treat Randwick a little bit like my backyard as well from the time I spent in Sydney, and obviously we have the home there, and I love going back there. It's a great track, it's a beautiful day, it's such a lovely race course to ride on, and although it's been renovated, it still feels the same. Like it's one of those iconic race courses in the world that as soon as you walk onto it, as you say, you can feel something special about it.
And the Sydney autumn?
How good is it? Yeah, the weather can be a little bit iffy, but it's, when it's a glorious sunny day, it's a great place to be. I love going back to Australia. I love being able to compete in the big races back there, ride some good horses, you know, see my friends and
play a bit of golf.
Play a bit of golf when I can as well. And New South Wales golf course has just been renovated. It looks amazing, so I'm looking forward to getting down there and seeing it for myself.
Maybe a fourth Doncaster.
That'd be great. It's got a nice ring to it.
And of course, that's what they did. They rang the bell all the way to him breaking the record in Hong Kong. I think his son even rang it once.
Well, I reckon they'll be ringing the bell here if he can do it again today. What a remarkable feat that will be. Well, what a remarkable feat it's been for the entire Australian Turf Club team over the most recent weeks with all this rain that we've had around Sydney. So let's check in now with the man who's heading up the race course here and the conditions. Good morning to you, Michael Wood.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
What's the latest, Woody? Of course, we've had a lot of rain, but it's bright sunshine today, and we've had a few good days. So where are we sitting with the track?
Soft 5 to start this morning. Yeah, couldn't have asked for a better day on the day. But obviously a fair bit of rain there at the back end of last week and earlier this week. But we have had some good days leading in, and that's seen the improvement from basically a heavy 9 right through to a soft 5.
So we can see you right there on the rail this morning. Where does the rail sit, and how's the forecast looking for the remainder of the day too?
Yeah, we're in the true position. Our last meeting back in March was out at 4 metres. So look, the track's recovered really well. It's got a great cover of grass right the way across it. But forecast for today is more of what we see now. Just these sunny conditions. There is going to be a bit of a gusty southerly from time to time throughout the afternoon, but really, you know, if I was to ask for a day, this is what I'd want.
How do you navigate through the weather conditions? Because last Saturday we saw this thumping rain. It's been all over the shop. How do you navigate your way through? Obviously, you look at forecasts ahead, but you know, it's a very difficult science.
Yeah, look, it's just something that we're pretty much staying on top of all the time. I'd hate to see a counter as to how many times I look at the forecast and what's happening hour by hour, but you know, we do have to stay on top of it. We haven't irrigated this track or put any sprinklers on this track for the last 2 weeks, just because we've stayed on top of that forecast. So it's something that takes up a lot of our time, but you know, it's a pivotal part of it.
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of a scratchy element to the line there. But look, I really appreciate you coming on. We do. And we look forward to chatting with you real soon. That is Michael Wood, who looks after the track. And doesn't it just look absolutely sensational? Remember we were out here a couple of years ago and we had the chopper going?
The chopper came down to dry the track out, and you would have thought that potentially could have happened this week, just with all that rain that the team has been navigating here. This track hasn't been raced on since March 8, so it has been a lot of work for the team here at the Australian Turf Club, but it is picture perfect today. It looks absolutely sensational for a great day of racing.
And if you haven't booked in anything for your Saturday, just wander out. You'll have a cracking time. Day one of the championships. This is Racing Dreams. It's great to have your company. Plenty more on the way. We'll see you in a tick.
Racing Dreams is brought to you by Racing New South Wales. Enjoy all the action this Sydney Autumn Carnival.
This is Racing Dreams on a Saturday morning, on a beautiful Saturday morning, Jules, and I've had heaps of text messages this morning. What are your tips? What are your tips? So plenty of people are keen to get on.
There are a lot of those text messages this time of year, I must say, and it is worth sticking around for the entire show, not only just for our next guest, but of course we've got Nick Burney coming up later on in the program, and I tell you what, he's in sensational form. But so is our next guest. He's always in good form.
Yeah, the long and the short. Mark Russell, Racing New South Wales. How are you?
I'm very well. What a great day. I mean, I'll give myself a pat on the back. I got a $5 winner last year. Last Tuesday.
got a $5 winner 16 years ago. It was extraordinary.
Go on. Give me.
Good on you.
Last week you got a $5 winner.
Nepotism. Got out to $5. I couldn't believe it on Tuesday.
You and I have to celebrate our wins because old mate here, he normally celebrates his.
And he's struggling at the moment. That's why he's very quiet over in this little corner of the world. This is the long and the short. It's a segment that we do every week where one of us will pick we all will pick a short-priced and long-priced horse in a particular race. I'll go with short first, and he's not that short actually, Rivellino. He's about $4 or a little bit more than that.
Good call,
and I think that Rivellino will win the Sires today. It was a really good run in the Golden Slipper and finished really strong, hit the line. Huey Bowman's come back from Hong Kong, and I think Chris Lees is quietly confident. He's never one of these guys that yells from the rooftops, is he, Chris? But I really do like Rivellino.
But I tell you what, the fact that Huey Bowman is coming back for this ride, that really says a lot. Mark, who are you with this week for your short?
I'm going with a young gun, a grey horse called Briasa. It's won 6 of 8. If they pick up this Vision, it was an amazing run the other day. He came the widest of the lot of them. He's won 6 of 8. The only 2 times he's got beaten, he's run 4th and drawn barrier 13 both times. Today he's drawn barrier 4. Oh. His sectional the other day, can you believe, was the fastest of the meeting by 2.5 lengths.
Wow. So
here he is stepping up to obviously the seasoned sprinters, but I think this horse is a young fella that'll go anywhere. So
that's
I'm keen on him. He's about $5.
Race 7, number 5. That's good.
That's it. Briasa, grey horse.
There you go. Well, for my short this week, I've gone with Willie Do It, the New Zealand Derby winner. Willie Do It is the question of the day. For my sake and for my reputation, it would be great if he did. But this is a big ask to come and do the Derby double. He will be with the Kieran Maher stables moving forward. He's been out at Bong Bong for the last 4 weeks. He's been enjoying himself thoroughly, and to be honest, I would too if I got to go out to Bong Bong for a little while. His trainer is confident that he's a bit stronger, potentially has some improvement to come as well. Look, this is a big ask to do the double, but I am with Willie Do It.
Okay, will he do it? Now let's go and look at the long. And I feel a little bit awkward about saying this, but I'm going with Switzerland, a horse like Switzerland, as a long odds chance. But you'd have to say 15, 16 to 1. This is the win in the Roman Consul, but this is a really talented colt/stallion that we're talking about here, Mark. Switzerland.
I'll say, no, he's a good horse. I didn't realise he was 16 to 1. That's amazing.
Something like that in the TJ Smith today. So in Coolmore colours, Ryan Moore rides. I think in each way on Switzerland today in the TJ Smith is, you could do worse, couldn't you? All care, no responsibility, of course, as we always say. What about you, Mark? What about the long?
I'm going with another Will. He was about $10 last night in the Doncaster race 8. Into about 8.50 now. He's drawn 18, but he's going to sit not far off the pace. He's run the other day in the All-Star Mile, like you just scrub it. He ran into a dead end, almost fell, and I think he should have won the race. So I think this is his time to step up. About $8.50, might get to $9, but I think he's great each way. Jamie Mellon.
We're watching the Doncaster prelude there for another wheel. Well, today I've gone with Bjorn Baker. I've gone with Overpass in the TJ. He has been trying sensationally. Out of this world. Interestingly, it also means there is a potential we'll see him back over at the Quokka, the TJ into the Quokka. We know this is the only horse to have ever won the Quokka. So
he's been well backed too.
He's been very well backed. I think this could be his day today. First up, trialling beautifully. Josh Parr rides. Could we see him in the Everest too?
Yeah, maybe. Well, we're in the Wink stand today, of course, and who could ever forget the Queen Elizabeth Stakes from a few years ago, which was her final win in that glorious run. Yesterday, we had nearly 700 people for the Carbine Club ATC Business Connects function, and I had the opportunity to speak to Tommy Berry. And one of the subjects that we brought up in that discussion was the Nathan Berry Medal. And the Nathan Berry Medal, it is on the line through the championships, and Tommy was delighting the fact that James McDonald wasn't here for day one.
Yeah, it's a 3-2-1. 5 races today, 7 races next Saturday, the championships races. Amazingly, the favourite is Damien Lane at $1.60.
Wow.
But
Slipper winner.
Yeah, but J-Max $2.30, and he's not even riding. So that just tells you how good a book he's going to have next Saturday. So this is a holy grail. The guys in that jockey's room, they love to win this. So it's obviously very special to a lot of them.
Very special, very sentimental. It's just this week gone 11 years since the loss of Nathan Berry. So this is a very, very sentimental one indeed. And Tommy Berry always has the privilege of presenting it. He probably would like to present it to himself.
He would, but he told me, I did a story on him, and he said that he's got it on the mantelpiece and his kids love it. They look at it quite often. He said, like he dead-hooted with J-Mac, the original, the first one.
Of course, yeah.
And J-Mac's won it 4 times since, and Hugh Bowman's won it 4 times since. But obviously it's a very, very special award to a lot of those jocks in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you.
Thank you.
And we'll watch with interest. Now, what about the William Haggis, Tom Marquand, Dubai Honour? This trifecta, I was at Rose Hill on Tuesday and watched Dubai Honour salute. And after the race, I caught up with Tommy.
They're off and racing now. And Dubai Honour races to the front in the Tancred Stakes and remains unbeaten in 3 Group 1s in Sydney.
Tom, you've done it again.
Yeah, I think it'd be unfair to say I've done it again because, I'm a very small part of a big team that have been brave enough to bring him down and got it all right again. You've got, obviously, Mohamed Obeida as owner, first and foremost, who's brave enough to sort of stump up the cash to bring a horse down. It's expensive and a big risk. And then, William and the whole team, Maureen, Izzy, who obviously travelled down with Luke. And look, the list is endless when it comes to bringing horses this far. He was on the money today and felt super in the run-up to it, so just pleased to get the job done, to be honest. I always intended to just sit a bit closer than we sometimes do with him, just the ground being what it was, and say it took a long time for the race to settle down. Even sort of half a mile out, the race changed again, and you're having all these sort of micro calculations in your head as to what you want to do and what you don't want to do and what's right. And look, ultimately, when the horse is good enough, usually you make the right decisions because they're giving you the right feelings and the right sort of signals through you. At the 600, I gave him a little click and he came alive, which is why I went back in and saved that ground because I knew he was all there for it. So he made it remarkably easy today, and riding Group 1 winners is what I come here to do, and fortunate to sort of be lucky enough to be able to do that.
Sydney Autumn has been remarkable. 2 wins on a day, all the wins on Dubai Honour.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been quite a varied and bumpy road. Like, I came out the first time 7 years ago now. It was my birthday the other day, and obviously the first year I came out I was 20, and it makes me realise, geez, I've been sort of doing it quite a long time now, and had a bit of bad luck, had a lot of good luck. We've had a lot of fun here and a lot of success, but there's been plenty going on behind the scenes too. So look, it's horse racing in life, and it's pretty fun when it all comes together.
It's not done yet to Queen Elizabeth Stakes now.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say big task on hand to turn around the mare, but she got beat last year. he's in top order, so everything looks like it's lining up good. Hopefully we get a bit of rain and not too much, like this weekend just gone. So he has to pull up in top order for us to go there as well, which is the main thing to stress. You know, he'll tell us if he's going to go there or not, and William, Izzy, and the whole team will decide whether it's the right move.
Finally, just a word on William Haggas, because I've had the delight of interviewing him at Newmarket here and in Hong Kong. He really is one of the legends of horse racing.
He is. He's fantastic in that he's so calculated, but you know, just takes everything into consideration: humans, horses, data, the lot. And I think, you know, to do something like this year on year and prove that it's not fluke. He's obviously been training a lot longer than I've been riding, and every bit of success that the yard has is sort of most notably a team effort, but it's a team that he's built, which I think a lot of people forget. You know, trainers blow it off onto the team so often, and obviously the team have to knuckle down and do the work, but it's a team that you know, someone like William has sort of calculated to get together and make it work efficiently. So look, he's been a fantastic mentor and boss to me. Obviously, coming down here has been fantastic fun, but we have a lot of fun elsewhere too, and I enjoy thoroughly riding in winners, you know, because I know how much is going in. So lucky to have a job like it, to be perfectly honest.
It's great to have your company on Racing Dreams here at Royal Randwick, and this job is so pleasurable, isn't it, when the weather is so nice?
It's so nice. It's such a beautiful day.
I can feel the sun on the back.
The sun on our back. It's really quite lovely. They heard the call for the chopper. There is a chopper hovering over nearby.
Get to the
Timmy's
chopper!
request. So there is a chopper in the area. But more importantly, look, today is a huge day of Group 1 racing. We know that. But today is also the final of the country championships. This is such a brilliant concept that has really shone a spotlight on country trainers and their horses and all their connections right across New South Wales. And joining us here this morning is a man who's made the trip all the way from Inverell. It's probably the furthest trip this year for the country championships final. Todd Payne, lovely to see you.
Yep, lovely to see you too, thank you.
Todd, Inverell, 2NZ. One of my great mates started in country radio out there. He came to join us at Goulburn. It's a great part of the world, and Inverell, Moree, I've been out there many times. Yep. People love their horse racing, don't they?
That's right. Yeah, the whole town gets behind it. The whole region, you know, like it's everyone loves their horse racing out that way.
I want to ask you first of all, before we get into this runner of yours, a little bit about yourself, because you work at the track there. Yep. And then you've also got a bit of a training hobby on the side as well.
Yep, yeah. So day starts out early in the morning. We get all the horses done, fly home, get organised, get the kids to school, back to work at the track all day, and then back to do the horses again that half, and do it all again the next day.
So what time does your day start and what time does it end? Because sometimes wrangling the kids is harder than the horses, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's right. No, we usually we're up and off to the track by about 4:45, and then back home to get kids ready, and then full day at the track, and then horses that afternoon again, and kids again, and they come and help too. So we're usually home just on dark again, and 7 days a week.
They're long days, but I'm sure it's worthwhile. Listomania.
Yep.
Tell us about this horse. How did it come to be in your stables?
This is a racing dream.
Yeah, it is a racing dream. I've trained for the owner for a while, and this horse, he had a few feet issues, few other issues, and he went to paddock, and he said, "Would you like to pre-train him?" And I said, "Oh, well, I can. We'll take him in and pre-train him." And we had him right and had him fit, and said, like, what's the plan now? He said, while he's fit, you might as well give him a trial, and then we'll send him up north. So give him a trial, and he went super in the trial, and then he sort of said, do you want to take him to town and give him a try, you know? Like, do you want to have a go to highway? I said, yeah, I'd love to. So, and it's just followed on from that. Like, just so grateful he's here, and he's not an easy horse, but a lovely horse to have.
Well, he hasn't missed a placing, has he? He's had 5 highways between here and Rose Hill. Listomania, where's the name from?
I'm not
people
sure.
looking for the country championships. Listomania, L-I-S-Z-T-O Mania, M-A-N-I-A.
I think Ray Thomas has done a really good story about this and the history of Listomania. Is a composer over in Europe.
Yeah, I think Aquis named him.
Okay.
Yeah, when they bought him as a yearling, and then he failed and had a few problems, so put him back on the sale, and the breeder bought him back, and yeah, rest is history.
Here he is.
So here you are today. You've had him here at Randwick in the past, where he ran incredibly well. But today it is the final of the country championships. There is a lot of money on the line today. How does it feel to be here now, to be having a look at this track under these conditions, under this race?
Yeah, it's great. Like, we've planned this for a while now. Like, this is our grand final day. It's a lot of country trainers' grand final day. It's a great concept. Like, we're only sifting through the stable last week thinking, what have we got for next year? You know, like, it's a great concept. And I couldn't have him any better. Like, he's 100% going in the grand final day.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Having worked in the country myself, Julie grew up in the country, you see it firsthand. Sometimes elements of country life can be forgotten.
Yeah.
What this does for people in horse racing, the lifeblood, people like you and others, it gives that opportunity to say, hang on, I'm included, I'm a part of it, and I could win a big trophy here.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And some money.
Yeah, that's right. I thought I'd be nervous by now, but I'm excited. I can't wait for it to come around, quarter to 3. It just, really pumped.
How is the horse? You drove down, I spoke to you earlier in the week, you were coming down from Inverell over a couple of days to break that trip up, stopped over at Singleton. How is he? He's over at Les's stables?
Yeah, he's over at Les's. He's happy hasn't missed a grain since he's been here. Took him for a walk this morning. He's jumping about, jumping out of his skin. He's ready to go.
What price is he today? Have you checked?
Yeah, it was 11s when I looked this morning.
Well, I'll tell you what, each way odds. I'll tell you what, you all care, no responsibility, but a couple of dollars each way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I may have already done that.
Julie's already done it. He's in Lesbridge, great guy.
Yeah.
He would have been jumping around the room if you saw him last night because South Sydney beat the Roosters, and he's a mad rabbito.
Yeah, no, I've never seen him last night. We were at the Doncaster last night, so it was a great night up there. That's a great night too that they've done. So. It was,
the country championships, the party before.
And what's the feedback been locally as well? I know there's had a lot of rain up there at Inverell, but what's in terms of having this horse is a really good chance, and the publicity around it and the interest around the country championships.
Yeah, that's right. Like my phone hasn't stopped all week. Just been interview after interview, whether it's been the radio at home, the telly, and that stuff too. So it's crazy.
Is it a life changer?
Yeah, it is. Yep. Never ever thought I'd have one to this sort of level, it's just mind-blowing.
And there's a fan club here today?
Yep, there's about 30 odd here. There was another 3 boys that rang me yesterday and they said, what's the chances of getting tickets? We're going to fly down. So that's great too in itself, like they weren't coming at all, and then last night they've changed their mind. They've got on a plane in Armidale this morning at 6 o'clock, flew down there, so they're here today too, ready.
That's sensible.
I did hear a whisper that we'll be able to spot them in the crowd too because they've all got matching tyres, is that right?
Yeah, all got matching tyres, all red and yellow tyres, striped tyres, so won't miss us today.
So that does lead to the next question. What will the party be like if you actually do win the country championships? When will you ever get back to Inverell?
Well, the plan the plan still is to leave tomorrow morning and go back. Get on the road, we'll go back and 8 or 9 hours on the float, but that could change dramatically.
That could change dramatically. The float may be based in Sydney for the next few days. Well, Todd, thank you so much for coming. When Julie rang me and said, I've got Todd coming on the show, it's such a delightful yarn. It's a great yarn. It's what we're about. We've been doing this for 6 years. We call Racing Dreams because they do come true.
Yeah, it is. It is a dream. It's crazy. So thank you.
Enjoy it. All the best today, and all the best for the journey back home as well.
Thank you.
Good on you. Whether it happens tomorrow.
Whatever that may be.
Or in 2 weeks' time. All right, now Tim Clark, he's one of the best front-running jockeys there is, and of course he does a lot of work for Gay and Adrian. He's on 198 wins at Randwick. 198 wins at Randwick. No doubt he'll break it over the championships. I caught up with Timmy for Racing Dreams.
And the gates are back. They're off and racing. A great start. It's Aloha and Sacred Choice from I Love This City, but Sacred Choice sprinted away with 100 to go. She's revelling in the ground, Sacred Choice, and she'll win the Doncaster. Beating Love Caucasus. Bold Glance got up on the rail for third, and she takes out the Emirates Doncaster Mile. Number 8, Sacred Choice, ridden by Tim Clark.
I remember that morning, just the rain tumbling down, and I knew that she was an absolute swimmer, and the more it rained, the more confident I got. She obviously had a really light weight, and I just grew with confidence throughout the day, and she duly saluted. Coming through, I moved to Randwick to finish my apprenticeship with John O'Shea, and I remember racing to winning the Doncaster. It might have been a couple of years before. Just being a part of that, through the stable, and iconic race it is. To win one at Randwick, a big mile at Randwick's always an amazing thrill.
Royal Patronage here to Shock, slugging it out, and Royal Patronage got the upper hand and won the Canterbury Stakes. A long nectar here to Shock. Well, there you go, Royal Patronage, who won the Tramway first up in the spring, winning the Canterbury Stakes at Group 1 level, first up here today.
And you've got a real chance in the Doncaster?
Yeah, Royal Patronage, he returned with a slashing win in the Canterbury Stakes to get his Group 1, and then ran well in the George Ryder, not getting beaten far. So he's ticking over beautifully, and looking forward to getting on him. I think he can run very well third up there.
It's Bella Zane and Baywak fighting it out. Bella's tough in the lead. Bella won't stop. Bella Zane led all the way to win the Lonhro Plate by a half length to Baywak.
Another big 2-year-old race with the size, and you're on a very talented filly.
Yeah, Bella Zane, who she ran really well in the slipper. He had to do a bit of work from an outside gate, and I think stepping up to 1400 is going to really suit her. She'll be able to just get into a nice rhythm. She handles everything so well. She's a big, strong filly that thrives on her racing and her work. I think stepping out to 1400 is going to assist her.
But Alaucaz has galloped these into submission with 150 to go. Nothing can get near him. Athabaskan flashing home at the end was Cleveland. Alaucaz, different class. That's been a great staying performance.
You mentioned the Sydney Cup. You're on the favourite, Alicant's real hope.
Yeah, she's put the writing on the wall, hasn't she? Her first 2 runs this preparation, and have a blowout in the Chairman's, and then she's just thriving at the moment. I couldn't be happier with her, and she's just got so much stamina, and it doesn't look like the 2 miles is going to be any concern whatsoever. So she drops to a lightweight in the Sydney Cup, and she's going to look the winner for a long way.
When I talked to Les Bridge about Hot Danish, he gets quite emotional because he remembers the horse and obviously his wife, very closely aligned to that era of Hot Danish and Hot Danish winning.
Hot Danish is day to day. Hot Danish is going to lead all the way, and she beat.
When you're sort of coming to the back end of your apprenticeship, and you're losing your claim, and you need a headline horse to help you in that transition period, and she was definitely that for me. And you could rely on her each and every carnival to come out and win a couple of group races. It did take her a little while to break her Group 1 maiden, but she did that in the All Age, and then was able to back that up and win the Doomben 10,000 as well. So I owe a lot of that. That early part of my career, a lot of that to her, and she was able to help me progress into the senior riding ranks, and she was a wonderful mare, and obviously had that great association with Les at the time.
You're sitting on 198 wins at Randwick, and you're a real chance at Doncaster. This is running today. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I didn't know that stat, but it's a great track. Obviously, I ride all my track work at Randwick, or 95% of it. It's a beautiful track. It's a special place, and to rack up that many winners there is a nice achievement.
What about the Sydney Autumn? There's a certain magic to it. Obviously the rain comes and it causes some issues, but it is a fantastic and so steeped in history, and you're a bit of a student of the game as well.
Yeah, definitely. Them races like the Doncasters and the Derbies and Sydney Cups, and obviously it's all become part of the championships now, which is the pinnacle of our racing. And to have that in our own backyard at Randwick, and to be a part of that is it's very exciting, and something I look forward to each and every year to get there and be a part of that. That feeling of riding a big winner at Randwick during the autumn. There's nothing like it.
Oh, I love that chat. Racing dreams do come true. And Todd, who we just had on, was talking about off air how his son started crying when they won. He thought, "Oh, sorry, son, I've hit you, have I?" He goes, "No." He bumped him in the excitement. "No, Dad, I just can't believe it's happened."
The Payne family all the way down from Inverell, and the kids are thoroughly enjoying their time here in Sydney, and rightly so, ahead of today's Country Championships final. I love those stories. I love seeing those people. So it was great for Todd to join us here. Litzermania, get on Litzermania for the Championships final. All right, well, a man who knows a lot about today's field. He's been having having very, very close look at them is Sky Racing analyst Nick Burney. Good morning to you, Nick.
Good morning to you, Tim and Julie. Yes, I'm very excited for today. Apart from the Everest, this is probably my favourite day of the year. So Doncaster Day, 1,600 metres, Randwick Mile, handicap conditions, $6 a field. What more do you want? I think we can get some good cash though early and play with the bookies' money and then go right on with it late.
So you're going to start in race 2, aren't you? You got a horse for us in race 2?
Yeah, this will be one of the best in race 2, will be Polymnia. So she's a really improving type actually for John O'Shea, and we're going to have a look at her last start here at Hawkesbury. So this was only a maiden, yes, but she did start $1.14 this day. But you really go and break down her sectionals from her 3 runs this campaign. She's ran the fastest last 1,200, 1,000, 800, 600, 400 and 200 out of all the runners in those races. I think getting up to the 2,000 metres for the first time, I think she can come down the outside just like she has here and just put them away with a lot of ease. So she goes down to 54.5 kilos. Now, when horses get down to that weight who have that turn of foot, it really does enhance that acceleration and closing speed. So I think she's on the up and we can get some cash nice and early with her. So that's race 2, number 9. Polymnia is one of the better bets on the program.
Johnny O'Shea doing incredibly well this season as well. Who's your second best bet? Because I know you were struggling this week to just come up with one.
I know, I couldn't split them. So what I'm going to do is back both, Julie, and then I'm also going to take the double. So we can take the multi, we can back both, then also take the multi and get a bit of a good price about them both. But this is Aliana in the Derby. So we have to wait till race 9 for her. But she's the filly in the race, so the boys won't be happy if she comes down the outside and knocks them off. But have a look at her. This is the Rose Hill Guineas. So that's broadsiding the likes of Swift Falcon. This is a red-hot form reference. So up to the 2,400 metres for the first time. I think she'll relish it. I just don't... She should have won this day. As simple as that. She's checked and blocked here at a key stage. She cops a bump there. And once she balances up and gets her mind back on the job, she savages the line. Her final 200-metre split was the 10th fastest on the day in a Group 1 day. And I just loved this last couple of bounds. If she doesn't get 2,400 metres, I think she just will absolutely love it. Damien Lane, barrier 2, conserving energy the whole way. I think this with the gaps comes, he's going to have to duck and weave, and then he can put them away late.
Now, you're going to get people off to a good start today because your best bet's in race 2, but your value bet is in race 1.
Yes, so we can have more on in race 2 after we hopefully can get the money here, Tim. So this is Hay Street. It's only had the one run. So we're going to have a look at a replay at Newcastle. Now, I know it's provincial form here and has to go to town, but this has been a really good go in the betting as well. So they went up $23 on Wednesday, but I still think that's good odds around that $10, $11 mark here today. So it's a red-hot maiden, so the horse out the back there is actually Buffalo, who wins the race, and it's a decent chance there in the sires at good odds. Also, Federalist is in the sires as well. So the horse here, Hay Street, in the red colours there and the Triple Crown colours, just didn't have a lot of luck here, as you can see. Just held up, couldn't build momentum at a key stage. But once out, I really liked how she found the line there. But the time they ran this day, if she can reproduce an effort like this but actually improve off it, which I think she can, because it's only on her debut, so she's going to get better from that experience. And the way Randwick track might play today, I think she can come down the centre of the track, really let loose. So we're on a couple of back markers here today, but I think they do get their chance under the conditions. And at around that $10, $11 mark, I think she's a great each-way bet.
Oh, he's doing well, Nick. He's doing very, very well. Who's your feature race tip for the day?
Yeah, of course you have to have a bet in the Doncaster, and look, it's a tricky race, but you're getting good odds, and I think this is the each-way special of the day. That is Gringotts. You only have to look at this horse's record, and the consistency to his form is just second to none. So Gris was at weight for age level, and Gringotts proved himself this day. He's up to that Group 1 level, so he goes back to handicap conditions here. He drops a few kilos, but look, he had every possible chance here, but you go back through Gringotts' form, and all his best runs have come third up. So he's third up today, and he's going to relish a high-pressure Doncaster. So they're going to go at a nice, genuine speed. He's fit, he's ready to go, but as I keep coming back to it, his consistency, like, This horse just runs a place almost every single start, so I'm happy to be with him. Kieran Maher trained, and he just maps to get every possible chance. So he's the horse I had to mark favourite, the one I wanted to go to, and happy to be with Gringotts in the feature race today.
I did want to ask you about the sires because I'm fairly bullish about Rivellino, the 1400, Huey Bowman coming back, Chris Lee's quietly confident. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, especially with the sires, you know, it's the Golden Slipper. They all come through that race. History says that. But I've gone something different here. I just looked away from the Slipper form, and I could be wrong here, but I'm going with the Melbourne Visitor in Vinrock. So purely it comes down to the map perspective. This horse is just going to bounce, lead, and it's had the win over the 1400 metres where the likes of Rivellino and Wadton, they're going to have to go back from those wider draws. So it's more a tactical play for me. I'm happy to be with Vinrock around that $4.20 mark, and just the win over the 1400 metres. I always like that. So straight to the front, Vinrock, and might just run them ragged.
All right, well, this is the stage of the show. You get your phone out, you get your pen and paper out. Let's pull up this graphic and have a look at Nick's tips for the day. This is a very popular part of our show. There he is. The best bet comes in race 2, number 9, as well as race 9, number 18 in Alenia. And then Hay Street for the value bet. And the feature, you've gone with Gringotts.
Gringotts, yeah, of course. Tommy Berry on board on Gringotts, and Nick, you're in good form at the moment, mate. You're in winning form. You're the Björn Baker of tipsters right at the moment. So hopefully you'll keep that going through the course of day 2 of the championship.
I don't know if he's quite the Björn Baker. I think he celebrates a little more conservatively.
Good on you, Nick. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys, and I hope everyone has a winning day today. We can back a stack of winners.
Absolutely, and of course we're on a soft 5 at the moment, but it is warm. It is really warm. It's going to get up to about 25 degrees. I think a little bit of breeze a little later on, so there is some talk, some speculation that give it a few races, we may possibly, I'm not saying certainly, but possibly get into the good range today.
The gates will be opening up here at Royal Randwick very soon. If you're thinking about what to do this Saturday, come on down. It is a sensational day out. There is so many activations around the track as well. The team have done an incredible job here. Come on down for day 1 of the championship.
And a big thank you to Racing New South Wales. We'll see you next week for Racing Dreams.